Hey guys, if we have learned anything about recovery from conditions like ME/CFS and Long COVID, it is to never underestimate the power of tools that allow us to tap into our emotions and our feelings and our experiences. And by far, people who recover find that the best thing that they can do, or the most helpful and effective thing that they do to help them find their way out of it, is to take a few minutes every day just to jot down a few things. By far, of all of the interviews that I've done on this channel, probably the number one reported thing, everyone talks about it to some extent, that helped them to get past their health condition is journaling. So in this video, we're going to go over the quickest, easiest, most effective ways to accomplish this. And I know this doesn't sound like a sexy topic. Part of you right now is like, is this the best, most fun use of my time? But we are going to go into so many fun things. We are going to debunk BS statistics about recovery. We are going to talk about robots. We are going to talk about trauma a bit. Okay, not super exciting, but so helpful. This is helpful information. And every time you learn something, there is going to be a dancing hedgehog that just appears to celebrate and say thank you for your learning. Don't believe me? Just you wait. In case you're new here, I'm Raelan, and I have experienced chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME/CFS, from both sides. One, as a caregiver, I grew up with a parent who had CFS, and then later as someone who experienced it themselves. After a 10-year journey living with chronic fatigue syndrome, I thankfully fully recovered. And during that time, and since then, I have learned so much about recovery. And most importantly, number one, is that recovery is absolutely possible. Please ignore that stat that is floating around at an alarming viral rate, saying that only 5% of people who get this condition recover. It turns out, I talked to a researcher in the UK, and this stat came from a single study by a psychologist using data that is over 30 years old. Imagine 30 years ago, what recovery from these conditions looked like. 30 years ago, unfortunately, that 5% stat might have actually been accurate, but it's really outdated. So I can't believe that this is still the first thing that many people are hearing when they go into their doctor's office. So please ignore that. It is outdated data. Let's stop repeating it. Anyone brings it up, you tell them where the source is. But now, thankfully, we know better. We have so much information about recovery, such a better understanding of what is happening. Not the full picture yet, but we are miles ahead of where we were 30 years ago. So there you go. Hopefully you just learned something new. We definitely just debunked a BS stat already. That was fast. Where's our dancing hedgehog? Told you. And if you haven't already seen, I did a video where I summarized the first 75 interviews that I did on this channel. I've done more than that, quite a bit more than that since then, but the stories haven't really changed. The themes are consistent, and it really highlights what the main things are that are helping people to recover. So I'll link it here. I'll put it in the video description. And even if you have already seen it, it's worth, I think, a second watch, because you're in a new place in your life and you're going to take new insights away and see things differently. Now, let's get to why journaling is likely your most important tool on your ME/CFS or Long COVID journey. Most people who've recovered kept some sort of a daily or weekly record to make sense of what was happening and track their progress. So whether it's tracking symptoms, identifying patterns, or processing challenging experiences, journaling plays a huge role. And although this is not a video about AI-powered journaling specifically, and whatever type of journaling you do will likely be beneficial for you, it's hard to deny the added benefits that come with incorporating AI into this practice. It's a whole new world from 30 years ago. Let's embrace all that we have. And as a part of my ongoing desire and commitment to bring you information about health recovery and related tools at zero cost to you, I'd like to thank Rosebud, the sponsor of today's video. Rosebud is the #1 AI-powered journal for mental health and personal growth that is revolutionizing the way people engage with self-reflection and personal development. And you can use it completely for free. So imagine having a journal that talks back to you with responses that are intelligent and caring and thought-provoking. Self-reflection through journaling was so huge in my recovery, and I've heard the same from so many others I've interviewed on the channel. But at the same time, it was a struggle. Brain fog and fatigue can make keeping daily logs feel almost impossible. So Rosebud makes it easy for anyone to build and maintain an impactful journaling practice. It helps you to combat brain fog with structured prompts and feedback to help guide the conversation, reducing your overall mental load during this process. And there's even a dark mode to address sensory sensitivities. And if writing is challenging for you right now, with Rosebud, you can also do voice journaling. And with a new update that is coming soon, it will even talk back to you. So you don't even have to look at your phone or your laptop at all. So as you work your way through your recovery, sometimes you might not even notice how certain actions affect your symptoms. So your AI journal buddy acts like your personal data wizard, analyzing your entries and highlighting those patterns, giving you insights to move forward with a much better action plan. It has a focus on gratitude. It helps you reframe negative thoughts, and it even helps prepare you for challenging conversations. I've been using Rosebud now daily, and some of my favorite features are that it gives you a daily affirmation based on your entry, which I think is so cool. And it even gamifies it a bit by telling you how many days you've done in a row and what streak you're on. So it makes me want to keep going and keep my streak up. It gives you opportunities, if you like, to go deeper into things that you share, and it shares weekly insights based on your entries for the week. So Rosebud has supercharged my journaling. There's no going back for me, and only you can read your entries and your data is encrypted. So there's a link in the video description if you'd like to give it a try for free. All right, did we just learn something new there about AI journaling? I think we did. Hansela, our hedgehog, please. Okay, our next sexy topic is processing trauma. Now, I know that probably doesn't sound very sexy or attractive, but what could be more appealing than finally letting go of and putting down all the heavy stuff that you've been carrying and moving forward in your life with a feeling of safety and peace? And I'm not distinguishing here between big T trauma or little t trauma. Recent research shows that it's not so much about the experience itself, it's about our feelings of safety during that experience. More specifically, it's about feeling the absence of safety during the experience. And when we think about conditions like ME/CFS and Long COVID, this encapsulates everything that it is. When you think about going from doctor to doctor, no one having answers for you, being sort of sent back out into your life with what is probably the scariest thing and most confusing and overwhelming and difficult thing you've ever been through. I'm sure it's in your top list. And being told that you have to sort this all on your own. And even worse, maybe you've been told that only 5% of people recover. We know that's not true. But feelings or a lack of feeling of safety it really just permeates all of this. Journaling can be incredibly helpful in such situations, and the science behind it is fascinating. Therapeutic journaling is basically writing down our thoughts and feelings about our personal experiences in a specific order. So James Penbaker, I hope I'm saying that right, he's a pioneer in this field, discovered back in the 80s that writing about your deepest emotions and thoughts related to traumatic events for 15 to 20 minute sessions over 4 sessions, not necessarily 4 consecutive days, but within a month, for writing 4 journaling sessions for 15 to 20 minutes within the span of about a month, could significantly benefit mental and physical health. And it's not just the act of writing, but the honesty in your expression during those sessions that matters. And some participants even just wrote with their finger, kind of in the air, so that there was no record of it and nobody could read what they were writing, and it still worked. So here's how this works if you want to give it a try. All right, so there are 5 components to this that are important and why it works. And if you stick with me and learn all 5, pretty safe bet, there's going to be a hedgehog for you at the end. So the first one is letting it all out. So when you sit down to write, you really just have to let it flow, sort of like releasing pent-up steam. Second component of it is that it is allowing you to get organized. So writing this out over a few days, as opposed to just one session, allows you to see patterns and see themes when you have time to take a break from it and revisit it and reflect on it and keep organizing your thoughts as you move forward with it. It also gives you a brain workout and a brain restructuring. So diving into these difficult topics is not only therapeutic, but it actually rewires those neural pathways in your brain. It also helps you think more clearly. The more that you do this, the stronger your brain becomes and the more capable you are of thinking these through and seeing patterns more easily. And the last component is that it helps you to tell a story. Across these 4 sessions, you can start piecing together your story in a way that makes sense and just take control of these experiences. So journaling in 4 rounds like this is like taking a deep dive into your own thoughts and feelings, giving your brain a good workout and emerging with a clear understanding of what's happened to you, making you feel more empowered. Pretty powerful, right? If you want to learn more about the science of therapeutic journaling, you can listen to, there's an incredible episode on the Huberman Lab podcast, and also check out the work of Nicole Sachs. I hope I'm saying that right. A psychologist dedicated to treating chronic pain, syndromes, and many other symptoms and conditions based on Dr. John Sarno's ideas. I've included all the links below in the video. Okay, we're almost there. You're doing well. We got one more really important piece to understand about journaling and how to make this actually be an effective tool for you when you are specifically using it for recovery from conditions like ME/CFS. And good job learning about all the trauma stuff. You know who's coming. Can I do it? Lastly, whenever you hear me talk about my recovery journey from ME/CFS, when you hear me talk about the actual part where I recovered, you'll hear me talk a lot about how I had to learn to just step back and look at the whole situation like a neutral observer. And I often reference it either as being a detective or an anthropologist. So an anthropologist out in the wild studying some species and just being curious, like, oh, why are they doing that? What happens when they do that? Oh, and then that happens, and then that happens. And just kind of trying to understand the whole situation. Or like a detective. So it's a mystery to be solved. If I would feel worse, if I would be making progress and then it would stop, I would try as hard as I could, and I know it's a big ask, but you can do it, to just remove all judgment from it, remove the frustration and all of the emotions that can easily get wrapped up in this, and just look at it from a place of curiosity, like a mystery that you're trying to solve. So most people who recover treated their journaling like they were detectives. So you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to get hyper-focused on symptoms. None of that is going to be super helpful, but just generally looking for patterns. You know, I felt worse today. What else correlates with this? Was I around certain people? Was I doing a certain activity? But what, did I eat something different? Am I not sleeping well? And just starting to see those patterns. So this self-observation helps you to figure out things that are helpful and things that are not. And it informs your decisions making forward so you can move through your recovery as quickly as you possibly can. And just by writing things down, however you do it, you are likely to start noticing some themes and some patterns. But if you use the AI-powered version of journaling, it's going to really supercharge this and probably help you see some patterns that you're not going to see on your own, and also just take away a lot of the mental effort required in sorting this all out and just do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Okay, I forgot there's actually one more thing. I thought we were done. I wasn't purposely trying to lie to you, but we will get our sexy little hedgehog in here, right? I love doing this because I love being silly and having fun, and I know that everything you're going through is serious and hard, and I think we should get to have some laughs. And if I can help put a smile on your face, that is absolutely the joy in my life. And I do all of these amazing recovery interviews. However, they can be quite heavy. People are telling very intense parts of their life, and there's this part of me inside that just wants to come out and be silly and make you laugh and make myself laugh. So that one of my commitments for this year is just indulging that piece of myself, and hopefully you enjoy it as well. Someone's talking about how they haven't been out of bed in 2 years. It's not really an appropriate time to throw up a dancing hedgehog. So the last thing the journaling can help you with on this recovery journey, a massive, massive, massive theme that we can't finish up this video without talking about. That was, hopefully my editor can cut that out, sound out, but is perfectionism. It's undeniable in all of the interviews, everyone we talk to, this is a massive theme, whether we call it a type A personality, driving ourselves hard. Us perfectionist type people can take anything that could and should be healthy and turn it into something toxic. Like diet must be perfect, must be organic and in season and keto or paleo or whatever to the letter. Otherwise, I had a cookie, world is ending. Or meditation, I must do it every single day or 3 times a day or 2 hours a day. And if I miss a day, then I'm never going to get better. Or brain training, it has to be this sort of like brain training boot camp situation where you're just hard on yourself and rigid and never feeling like you're quite doing it properly or doing enough. So this negative self-talk, this critical inner voice, this feeling of constant fear if perfection doesn't exist is massively problematic when you're dealing with functional conditions that have a massive element of working with your threat assessment systems and your autonomic nervous system and your limbic system and getting that fight or flight turned off. So this is where brain training in combination with journaling can be really powerful, because journaling isn't just about noticing patterns, it's about soothing our nervous system, reminding ourselves that we are safe, that we are okay, working with that autonomic nervous system and celebrating all of our achievements and victories along the way, no matter how big or how small, and taking those moments to zoom out and see how far we've come and look at our trajectory and all of that good stuff, and just keep our head in a really good space and make our head a good place to be as we work on our way moving past this. All right, look at us combating perfectionism. Do we get a hedgehog for this? I hope we do. I bet we do. So as we wrap this up, I invite you to just take a moment with me right now and just dream a little bit. Imagine what would happen, because we have some doctors and academics who are looking at analyzing the recovery stories on this channel and publishing the findings in medical journals. And this is amazing. But that is just half an hour, 1 hour of someone's time that they shared. Imagine if we had all these AI-powered journals with all this data documenting our recovery journeys, how we got out of it, the obstacles we faced, what worked, the patterns, the insights, and then we could deliver that information to all the amazing doctors and researchers who are working on fully understanding this and also disseminating that information to all of the millions of people in the world who need it. There's just so much potential here. It's so exciting. I love where we are in the world. I love the progress that we're making. There's never been better time with these conditions to be more optimistic and hopeful and confident in your ability to get past this. All right. What do you think of all of this? Of AI journaling, of its power to help us with recovery? Let us know in the comments, because this is a fascinating topic and there's definitely many different ways to look at this. Someone, Irina, on my team, she's amazing, sent me an article of someone who's a data scientist who became unwell, and then he used AI data analysis to figure out what was happening with him and to figure out his path to recovery. She is working very hard to try and get him on the channel. But there's just a lot of potential here. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I'd like to send a shout out to Jennifer Matheson. Massive hugs to you. Thank you for joining the channel and becoming a member. I appreciate the support. I think we should throw in one last hedgehog for you. And if this topic of AI journaling is interesting to you and you'd like to know more, I actually had the opportunity to interview the founder of Rosebud. He's been on the channel. It's an incredible interview. I'll link it above and in the video description. It's definitely worth a watch. There's just so much potential here. Thank you for watching. Sending big hugs to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope to see you in Sean's interview.